how long I have been here, and how many visits I have made overall. Certainly the landmarks are now so familiar to me that I have to remind myself to actually see the forms and shapes in front of me. I could stumble blind across these rocks, the edges of these precipices, without fear of missing my step and plummeting down to sea. Besides, I have always considered that if one is to fall, it is critical to keep one's eyes firmly open.
It's hashtag that's deep. That's an Instagram post right there. Whoa. I see. So you're just kind of... I see. And that's it. Ooh, flashlight. Zoom. This is advanced tech. Hmm. Unk. I don't actually know. Whoa. Wow. No, I said unk, but I don't think it is it supposed to be letters? I could see like a CK, but I don't really see the... Maybe like luck. If anything. Or like look, maybe. Not that I can think of. Playing cards? Oh, those look like letters. That looks like H on the left wall. Oh, these look like chemical bonds. You're sending it to Odd. It's Odd the chemist. I'll ask him for help with my chemistry homework. I don't have chemistry homework, but if I did, I'd ask him. Ooh, horrifying. No stairs for you. Fascinating. Whoa. Walking simulator. I don't know what Death Stranding is. Oh, you're just quirky like that. You're kind of a pick-me.
Donnelly reported the legend of the hermit, a holy man who sought solitude in its most pure form. Allegedly, he rode here from the mainland in a boat without a bottom, so all the creatures of the sea could rise at night to converse with him. How disappointed he must have been with their chatter. Perhaps now, when all that haunts the ocean is the rubbish dumped from the tankers, he'd find more peace. They say he threw his arms wide in a valley on the south side, and the cliff opened up to provide him shelter. They say he died of fever 116 years later. The shepherds left gifts for him at the mouth of the cave, but Donnelly records they never claimed to have seen him. I have visited the cave and I have left my gifts, but like them, I appear to be an unworthy subject of his solitude. There was once talk of a wind farm out here, away from the rage and the intolerance of the masses. The sea, they said, is too rough for the turbines to stand. They clearly never came here to experience the becalming for themselves. Personally, I would have supported it. Turbines would be a fitting contemporary refuge for a hermit. The revolution and the permanence.
A wonderful sight.
Hashtag cello music.
The moon cresting the junction between the cliff path and the stone circle. It cast a shadow of the ridge across the beach, all the world as if you had signed your name in untidy handwriting.
It feels very... Oof. Good job. Yeah, it doesn't... I'm trying to think of which composer it makes me think of. Because it's a little bit too dissonant for Mozart. But it's like a fugue. It feels very fuguey. Oh, the back. Whoa, the tunnel. Oh, there's a thing there. It's a Morse code? Mm. I don't know. I'm not well versed in Morse code. It's also not reappearing. I can't help but notice. Maybe it's just to draw your attention. I could go watch the bot and decode it. I'll consider. I'm opening up your YouTube page right now. Whoa, that's you. That's you constantly. You enjoyed that. Okay, let's see. I'm opening up your VOD right now. I need to mute it though because I will get like overstimmed. Let's see. Where is the tunnel? Okay, here's tunnel. Here is Morse code translator. Oi oi. Oi 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 oi. Here we go. Can I just like tap? Is there like a tap translator to Morse code text? So if I'm unsure. Oh, this is the golden ratio. I'm not sure if I will be translating this. I mean, I can look again to see if it actually feels like it's. No, it probably is. I was also like, hold on, I'm putting it in like two times, or not 2 times, but 0.5 playback speed.
I have found the ship's manifest, crumpled and waterlogged under a stash of paint cans. It tells me that along with this present cargo, there was a large quantity of antacid yogurt bound for the European market. It must have washed out to sea. God knows there are no longer gulls or goats here to eat it.
I didn't hear gull, I heard girl. We're not eating ladies out here, folks. Enter string to convert. I didn't realize that Morse code had like a text language. Ethanol? Sounds like Esther. Translator, have a go. I don't want to tap download to start. Ugh. Ugh. I don't understand. He's confuzzled. Oh. Oh, the timestamp for the tunnel keeps changing because it's live. I see. You know me. I'm the woke radicalist. Yeah. I think you are soggy is what's going on right now. Okay, I think I'm close to like discovering. Hold on. I'm discovering. Hold on. Is it really like that? I don't think this is supposed to be anything. Hold on. That's crazy. Okay, the grand reveal. If it is Morse code, it is SISH. It is SIIISHSS. So I don't believe it is anything important. Shh. You know, shish. Shish. I am unconvinced. I should have just Googled this. Hold on. Hmm?
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
Oh.
They were God-fearing people, those shepherds. There was no love in the relationship. Donnelly tells me that they had one Bible that was passed around in strict rotation. It was stolen by a visiting monk in 1776, 2 years before the island was abandoned altogether. In the interim, I wonder, did they assign chapter and verse to the stones and grasses, marking the geography with a superimposed significance that they could actually walk the Bible and inhabit its contradictions?
The Bible. You didn't watch the Barbie movies, did you? Bibble wasn't in that one. Well, I see. Oh, wait, hold on. I actually might have griefed you. Because I forgot there's long and short, and that, like, makes a difference. Hold on. Don't worry about it. I don't think I asked you. I don't remember asking you.
Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
Oh, holy shit. I'm almost there. This is actually something strange. This is like, it's kind of super hard to tell what is long and what is short. I don't think I remember asking you. Okay. Okay, this is my new cook. Assuming I have identified what is short and what is long,
hermit,
as well as
this
Damascus.
seer, this distant historian of bones and old bread, where did he vanish to? Why? Asked the farmers. Why? Asked Jakobsen. Why bother with your visions at all, if you're just to throw your arms up at the cliff and let it close in behind you and seal you into the belly of the island, a museum shut to all but the most devoted?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the lore is here. Are these neurons? Yeah, there's like synapses. Yeah, that's a neuron. There's the dendrite and the synapses. The what? Oh, what is that? A lobster? Oh. Whoa, are you sure it's ethanol? That doesn't look quite like ethanol anymore. Get odd, my goat. Can I screenshot it? Okay, hold on, I will. Hold still, hold still. I'm getting the snipping tool out. Snipping tool, my goat, my bestie. Okay, do you want me to send it to you? Yeah, I can send it. Okay. Oh, my bongo cat got a new item. She got a bow. She's really cute. Yeah, George. Mhm. I didn't see anything. Yeah, so we got chemistry, we got neurons, and we got whatever is on the wall. Yuck. This game is like 12 years old. That's crazy. Wow. Wow, it's maybe like 0.5% of yours. It's very ambient. Wait, isn't Damascus like a Bible thing? Hold on. I feel like I learned about Damascus in Bible study. Yeah, there's a whole verse about it. It's Isaiah 17. It's, see, Damascus will no longer be a city but become a heap of ruins. Whoa. Let's see. Biblical history of Damascus. According to Josephus, Damascus was founded by Uz, the grandson of Shem. It's first mentioned in scripture in connection to Abraham, which is in Genesis, whose steward was a native of the place. At one time, David became a complete master of the whole territory, which he garrisoned with the Israelites. Sounds like it's a city.
He still maintains
Oh,
he wasn't right at the
GodBibleQuestions.org. What's the
time. I can't
significance
make
of
the judgment
Damascus
or
in
the
the Bible?
distinction anymore.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
drunk
Lord,
when I
hold on.
landed here, and tired too. I walked up the cliff path in near darkness and camped in the bay where the trawler lies beached. It was only at dawn that I saw the bothy and decided to make my temporary lodgings there.
Both A.
I was expecting just the aerial and a transmitter stashed in a weatherproof box somewhere on the mount. It had an air of uneasy permanence to it. Like all the other buildings here, erosion seems to have evaded it completely.
Okay, so do we want Damascus lore still? So it looks like Damascus is one of the oldest cities in the world and is the current capital of Syria. It is on the edge of the Syrian Arab Desert, about 130 miles northeast of Jerusalem. And it is perhaps best remembered as the scene of Paul's dramatic encounter with the risen Christ, where he converted to Christianity. So Paul wasn't Christian, but then when he saw Jesus come back alive, he was like, that's lit. This is the Falling Simulator. You don't trust the game? Yep, nope. Oh, good news. It looks like you're
Come
dead.
back.
The voices. The voices. That's you. Is this Stonehenge? It's not Stonehenge. Marginally smaller rocks, though. Where do you come from? Where'd you go? Where'd you come from? Cotton Eye Joe. Mm-hmm. Man, I'm being brought back to my Bible study roots. That's crazy. That's it. Is the description of your video just Esther, dot, dot, dot? I see. Okay. If they're not really good, I will be suing you. Luna Tender. Hollow Knight Day 20. What is the... What? Oh, meal. Oh my gosh, just poorly spelled. I think it's, oh my gosh. Hollow Knight Day 10, 6 months ago. I am stalling way. Yes, probably. Hollow Knight Day 19, Wokage Lock-In. What were you doing in Day 19? You were in sewers, a lot of sewers. Oh, and then you did... What do you do here? Oh, they did like... Oh, this is Lost. This is Broken Vessel. Oh, no, that's not. This is Hive. This is Hive. You went into Hive. Hollow Knight Day 1. Yay. Is the description. Portal 2, streamed 2 weeks ago. Portal 2, Day 3. Cleared.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my ordnance survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome brake services, but although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Let's see. Arcadian Day 4, Peak Thunder. Arcadian Day 3, Bomb Battlefield X Lethal Lava Land. Arcadian. I know, I need to, hold on, I need to, you said Arcadian Day 3, welcome back to Living Liquid. That's crazy. It's so insane. I might be losing power here soon, by the way. Is it raining? Yeah, well, my lamp keeps flickering in here, so now I'm wondering if we're losing power. Oh. Okay, well, I guess it's not. I'm gonna turn on the overhead lamp. I think this light bulb is flickering, like dying, it's flickering, it's freaking me out. Hold on. Sorry? Sorry, I left to go turn on my big light. What'd you say? Oh, you like it? I wonder... It does fit the vibe of the game. It is kind of interesting.
I've begun to wonder if Donnelly's voyage here was as prosaic as it was presented. How disappointed not to have found the bones of the holy man. No wonder he hated the inhabitants so. To him they must have seemed like barnacles mindlessly clinging to a mercy seat. Why cling so hard to the rock? Because it is the only thing that stops us from sliding into the ocean. Into oblivion.
You are the Oblivion Slider. You're also Arcadian Day 2. If Honeybee Lovely has 10 good little worker bees, I am one of them. And then it's immediately followed by Yibi. And then the one right after there is Arcadian Day 1 DC Travel Prague Login Savage. Yeah, your Arcadian descriptions are pretty peak. You kind of fell off. Unreal back on track. Let's see, what'd you say? Let's fucking go. Through day 13, you described this video as Dave the Diver? You're probably messing up my algorithm actually now that I'm doing all this, but here, hold on. Hollow Knight day 33, what'd you say? Let me out of pure vessel. Reasonable. Top arf. Arf arf. I'm gonna do 2 more. Through day 6.5. Freak mode backshot gone. Take me back to freak mode backshot. Alright, last one. Last one. What'd you say on future rewritten? Oh, I just added your Fru VOD onto my watch later list. Fru day 1, I got Froyo for Fruwu. Apparently Arthars has insider info that there will be an ultimate in 0.3. Yeah, it depends on when it drops. It probably won't be either. That's sarcastic. I see. Bum, bum, bum. Another one bites dust. I don't know. That's it. I just saw another one.
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
Plunk. Yeah, the lore is... I don't really know. And I think it's and neither did he eat nor drink. I mean, hold on. I have to look now. No, I'm looking at... Oh god, it's coming up. Hold on. The Bible passage, "and neither did he eat nor drink," is found in Acts 9:9. It describes Paul's experience with his conversation on the road to Damascus, where he was blind for 3 days and unable to eat or drink. Maybe I cooked. Maybe I am good at Morse code. I don't think you need to, like, really, like, I'm just a results-minded individual. Like, the process isn't important. How we get there does not worry me. I'm not worried. I've never been worried once in my life. No.
I had kidney stones, and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half
kidney
submerged in
stones.
anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Oh. You think you're not alive?
Is this what Paul saw through his windscreen? Not Lot's wife looking over her shoulder, but a scar in the hillside, falling away to black forever.
Lot's wife is also a Bible character. She has, like, something to do with looking. Who is Lot's wife? I think Esther's the sister of Mary. I don't think Esther ever, and maybe it was Elizabeth. I think it's either Elizabeth or it's Esther as an E name. Yeah, but I know Elizabeth is also related to Mary. Who is Elizabeth in the Bible? She's also a kinswoman of Mary, mother of Jesus. Okay, so she's the wife of Zachariah, priest and mother to John the Baptist. Okay, so she is John the
I've begun my
Baptist's
ascent on the
mom.
green slope of the western side. I've looked deep into the mountain from the shaft and understood that I must go up and then find the way under. I will stash the last vestiges of my civilization in the stone walls and work deeper from there. I'm drawn by the aerial and the cliff edge. There is some form of rebirth waiting for me there.
So Esther was a Jewish woman who found favor with a king. She becomes queen, and she risked her life to save the Jewish people from persecution and that stuff. And then Lot's wife, what'd she do? What did she do? Oh, well, apparently she looked back. She looked back at a guy, and she turned into a salt statue. Oh God. The surgery. The surgeon. I don't believe surgery existed back then. Not that it comes to mind. Also, aren't those like with this like metal things for like stitches? It's not for like amputations. Medical demand. I'm typing that into Google right now. Medical Damascus lore. Damascus lore, particularly in the context of medicine, refers to the historical significance of Damascus as a center for medical advancements. Fact checking. Well, it does seem like there's a pretty notable physician slash medical institution that was established in 1959 in Damascus.
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man
Jacobson?
of breeding by the mainlanders.
Like Jacob's
He came here
son?
every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
Jacob in that paragraph is spelled with a K, wasn't it? Historically, Jacob in the Bible is not spelled with a K. It's always spelled with a C. But, yeah, Jacob... It was very distinct to Jacobson. The jail? Oh, this is different. That's what I say when I open up my chemistry test after I studied for approximately 2 minutes. You're not fact-checking that element. Oh, I see.
When the oil lamps ran out, I didn't pick up a torch, but used the moonlight to read by. When I've pulled the last shreds of sense from it, I will throw Donnelly's book from the cliffs, and perhaps myself with it. Maybe it will wash back up through the caves and erupt from the spring when the rain comes, making its return to the hermit's cave. Perhaps it will be back on the table when I wake. I think I may have thrown it into the sea several times before.
Probably another achievement for falling off the cliff.
Come back.
The voices. He's so back. I think so. Like what? Sounds like a lot of work. You said, I believe. I believe in support. I need to grab water. I'm gonna BRB.
In a footnote, the editor comments that at this point, Donnelly was going insane as syphilis tore through his system like a drunk driver. He's not to be trusted. Many of his claims are unsubstantiated, and although he does paint a colourful picture, much of what he says may have been derived directly from his fever. But I've been here, and I know, as Donnelly did, that this place is always half imagined. Even the rocks and caves will shimmer and blur with the right eyes.
Whoa, did I just miss lore? What'd he say? I see.
They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come.
Jakobsen.
Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. All around him, small flowers were reaching for the weak sun. The goats had adjusted happily to life without a shepherd and were grazing freely about the valley. Donnelly reports they hurled the body in fear and disgust down the shaft, but I cannot corroborate this story.
Corroborate's such a crazy word. You're the non-goer. Dear Esther to truth. That's interesting. That's pretty cool. How long is it? It was only $2. That's crazy. Gross playtime is 6 hours. Your face is crazy. I can't believe not only you messed up my YouTube search history by like clicking on all your videos, all your VODs, but also now my search history is just Bible. It's a boat. You know what's also in the Bible? Boats.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
What genre of game is this? Okay. Okay, so not horror. Okay. Oh, Stanley Parable is funny. I've seen videos on that one. Okay. He's the walking simulator pro. Also, for a man who just broke his femur, he sure is walking around a lot. Wait, oh, you're breaking your femur again. Let's break the other one. Oh, that was my assumption this entire time.
Donnelly's addiction is my one true constant. Even though I wake in false dawns and find the landscape changing, flowing in constantly through my tears, I know his reaching is always upon me.
That's what the liberals want you to think. Man sees blue stone with blue glow. People crazy. It was not optimized for that, it's true. It is rather crazy. That's green. Oh, are you flying? Let's see. The crawler. The swimmer.
It was as if someone had taken the car and shaken it like a cocktail. The glove compartment had been opened and emptied with the ashtrays and the boot. It made for a crumpled museum, a shattered exhibition.
There's a picture on your left. Isn't this some kind of like electric notation? Hmm? Are the voices speaking to you too? Are you ready to break your other femur? You've broken 3 femurs now at this point. Not really. You need someone to baptize you. You can't baptize yourself. I have been. I was 4 months old. I think there's like argument about whether or not that's a real baptism though. It's an old tradition from when babies used to die in like infancy. People would baptize their children as soon as possible to save them from going to hell. Um, but there's more of a modern movement now where it's like, okay, but theoretically baptism is supposed to be giving your life over to Christ and like dedicating your life to Christ. And, you know, it's a question on whether infants can really consent to that, right? Like, are they really making that decision actively? The answer's probably not. No. No, not really. You're still kind of a potato. Um, so, some people believe that you should have an infancy baptism, and then you should also have one and in like your teenage years, if you're gonna do it again, or like early adulthood, or like anytime in adulthood. But some people believe that once you have one baptism, you should not get baptized again.
If the caves are my guts, this must be the place where the stones are first formed. The bacteria phosphoresce and rise, singing through the tunnels. Everything here is bound by the rise and fall, like a tide. Perhaps the whole island is actually underwater.
Didn't this guy, like, die from kidney stones? What's going on? He's stoned. Reasonable. What year was it 12 years ago? 2013? Kind of nice audio quality for a 2013 game. Yeah, I guess 2013, Yeah, you're probably right. Maybe I just played too many DS games. DS games are all oops and beeps. For a while. I didn't start playing games on the computer until, like, 2015. Hmm? Oh, okay. Yeah. More synapses. Well, at least I started, you know, playing at a reasonable age. I mean, I know that you started when you're like 120. You cannot go into the left. You are stuck. You are so extremely far left.
I will hold the hand you offered to me, from the summit down to this well, into the dark waters where the small flowers creep for the sun. Headlights are reflected in your retinas, moonlit in the shadow of the crematorium chimney.
She dead, bruh. Oh. Taken? Damascus is taken. Surely. Yeah, there's lots of like science and brain and like electricity. I heard that is meat. uh, that doesn't make sense either, though. I don't. That doesn't really sound like everything else we've read so far. I'm like so horror game pilled that like I'm on edge. I don't. I'm just so used to whenever I play a game that is like, or watch a game that is like adjacently horror, I'm like, ooh, every single time. That's why but it's not a horror game. Hmm? Me or you? Absolutely the fuck not. I'm gonna need at least 18 support, emotional support, stuffed animals, and like a person to strangle. Nope. No, I can't. Nice try though. I will not be tuning into stream. Whee. Nope. You're so extremely far down. Bro is not alive. Bro is drowning. I think you just ignored something on the road. Yeah, the bed. Oh, it's a surgery bed. Operating table. He's off-roading. Wow. The voices. Oh, there are no voices. It's like an eye. Oh, do you think he's like, oh, he's dead for real, for real? No death for you. Wow. The full moon is when my clients are extra crazy. I wonder, is it a full moon soon?
The moon over the Sanford Junction, headlights in your retinas. Donnelly drove a grey hatchback without a bottom. All the creatures of the tarmac rose to sing to him. All manner of symbols crudely scrawled across the cliff face of my unrest. My life reduced to an electrical diagram. All my gulls have taken flight. They will no longer roost on these outcrops. The lure of the moon over the Sanford Junction is too strong.
Ah, the next full moon is Monday. Of course it's a Monday. Black.
Come back.
For someone with 3 broken femurs, you sure are trying to ascend. Mm-hmm. Bum. That kind of sounded like a Morse code thing, by the way. Like the timbre of that song. Like the little beep 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 machine from Morse.
Of fire and soil, I chose fire. It seemed the more contemporary of the options, the more sanitary. I could not bear the thought of the reassembly of such a ruins. Stitching arm to shoulder and femur to hip, charting a line of thread like traffic stilled on a motorway, making it all acceptable for tearful aunts and traumatized uncles flown in specially for the occasion. Reduce to ash, mix with water, make a phosphorescent paint for these rocks and ceilings.
What is that? Hold on, I'm listening. I'm listening to the thing. The beep.
There were chemical diagrams on the posters on the walls on the waiting room. It seemed appropriate at the time. Still life abstractions of the processes which had already begun to break down your nerves and your muscles in the next room. I crammed diazepam as I once crammed for chemistry examinations. I am revising my options for a long and happy life.
Showing around him. I'm... Hold on.
From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic. and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
Yeah. If that song did have Morse code in it, it's a lot harder to tell because the breaks are like musically informed, so I can't tell where it like stops between the letters. I'm gonna give that one up. I don't think that's something. Maybe I'm hallucinating. I just thought the rhythm was weird. It sounded like the thing. What verse is that? Wait, what does it start with again? Ah, the passage is Acts 9, 3-7, which recounts the conversion of Paul as he neared Damascus. A light from heaven suddenly shone around him, causing him to fall to the ground and hear a voice asking, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? And that's when Saul changed his name to Paul. He responded, Who are you, Lord? And then the voice identified itself as Jesus. Yeah, that's crazy. Why aren't you like sitting back? That's crazy. Fluff, I got a bongo cat beret. I have been. I can only get one every 30 minutes. I have to have at least 1,000 bongo taps. And then it randomly gives me a timer for 30 minutes, and then we'll start counting down. And then once it hits 0, I get gift.
I will drag my leg behind me. I will drag it like a crumpled hatchback, tires blown and sparking across the dimming lights of my vision. I'm running out of painkillers and am following the flicker of the moon home. When Paul keeled over dead on the road to Damascus, they restarted his heart with the jump leads from a crumpled hatchback. It took 21 attempts to convince it to wake up.
Is that true? I don't remember Paul being around when hatchbacks existed. Did he really? I don't remember. Oh, I see. Looked like there's a light. I thought there was a light like directly behind you. No. Like right currently behind you, like there's that like ghost, like ghostly blue, ghastly thing. He's sending.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
Yeah. Yeah. And was come? And was come? Near to Damascus. Was proceeding along his journey and was come to Damascus.
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
Oh, yeah, he was blind for a while. Did he eat nor drink? Yeah, he's a blind writer, just like you. And doesn't eat or drink either. Actually, no, you do drink, MB. I did. Yeah. I see. The largest girl of the century. Is that even possible?
There are headlights reflected in these retinas. Too long in the tunnels of my island without a bottom. The sea creatures have risen to the surface, but the gulls are not here to carry them back to their nests. I've become fixed, open and staring, an eye turned on itself. I've become an infected leg whose tracking lines form a perfect map of the junctions of the M5. I will take the exit at mid-thigh and plummet to my Esther.
I think it's the same thing that he was, and was come to Damascus. Maybe not, though, I don't know. I'm having a hard time reading it. Oh, a light shone from heaven.
Come back.
The voices.
Blind with panic, deaf with the roar of the caged traffic, heart stopped on the road to Damascus. Paul sat at the roadside, hunched up like a gull, like a bloody gull. As useless and as doomed as a syphilitic cartographer, a dying goat herd, an infected leg, a kidney stone, blocking the traffic bound for Sanford and Exeter. He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all. All his roads and his tunnels and his paths led inevitably to this moment of impact. This is not a recorded natural condition. He should not be sat there with his chemicals and his circuit diagrams. He should not be sat there at all.
The Maskian.
I have run out of places to climb. I will abandon this body and take to the air.
Yeah, bro, you're out of painkillers. Whoa.
Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We've always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
Aww. He's flying. It's okay. He's a bird. Aw, that's sad. Wow. Right, right. Pretty good. Mm, Sag. Sag out of 10. Is Sag. No, I wasn't happy. Grr. Grr. But he's a bird. He's a bird. He's okay being a bird. That's cool. That's chill. The bird is the word. Yeah. You know? The bird is the word. I still think that the melody has something to it with the booty boop 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 things. But I'm too tired to figure that out. I also can't tell. So maybe it's just a weird rhythm. Because it showed up in the main theme at the very end, too. Or maybe it's not the main theme. I can't really tell what the main theme is. But it showed up at the end. And I was like, hmm. Hmm. 2017 Unity Technologies. How was this released 12 years ago? Based on the 2007 mod The Chinese Room. I guess it's supposed to be a remaster. That's crazy. What I'm saying is that how would you possibly have known anything without your resident Bible study girl? You know? That's